first all-hands meeting, acting FEMA Administrator David Richardson issued a striking warning to members of the nation's disaster relief agency. CBS News has obtained exclusive video of Richardson's speech on his first day at FEMA, so take a listen.
I don't need very much authority to get everything done I need to do. I don't need the full title. All I need is the authority from the president to put me in here as some degree of acting, and I will make sure that his intent gets completed. I don't stop at yield signs.
Joining us now is Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Sganga. So, Nicole, what else did the FEMA administrator say during this speech?
Juliet, good to be with you. This is a 17-minute-long speech that was given to thousands of FEMA personnel, both at FEMA headquarters in Washington, D.C. and throughout the country, that current FEMA employees described to me as being unhinged, terrifying, and threatening. And Juliet, during his address, he told FEMA employees, quote, "I and I alone speak for FEMA." He went on to say that he has never read a book on leadership before, but is fine operating in chaos. The former Marine also warned his new coworkers not to get in his way as he works to reform and reduce the size of this agency. Take a listen.
There's somewhere south of 20% that decide that they are going to get in the way of change. You can ask anybody that those 20% of the people are a problem. And they have to be sidelined. So don't get in my way if you're those 20% of the people. I know all the tricks, okay? I know them from lance corporals. I know them from staff sergeants, lieutenants, federal employees, my own employees, and indeed myself, okay? I played the games too. Obfuscation, delay, undermining. If you're one of those 20% of the people and you think those tactics and techniques are going to help you, they will not, because I will run right over you. I will achieve the president's intent.
And Richardson also said in that address that he's working to figure out how to push some of FEMA's responsibilities down to the states. Of course, that is a concern among lawmakers and state leaders who fear they won't be able to deal with crisis management on their own, to deal with all the natural disasters that FEMA tackles day in and day out. Keep in mind that FEMA is an organization that declares a major disaster emergency every other day, and we are roughly 3 weeks ahead of the start of Atlantic hurricane season.
So what else do we know about David Richardson? We do know he was a former Marine corporal. What else about his background?
Yeah, that's right. He was the former assistant secretary at DHS, working in an acting capacity at the Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction office, but he has no real experience at FEMA or in disaster relief management. He was a former Marine, as you noted. He commanded artillery units. He served in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Africa. He says in his bio on the Department of Homeland Security's website that he participated in Marine Corps martial arts. He also referenced his military experience frequently during his address to staff today. Take a listen.
Doing things outside of a mission can be very tragic. I've had friends who are either dead physically or very damaged emotionally because they ran into trouble doing things that were not within their mission during combat.
And one current FEMA employee told me that listening to this address felt like he'd suddenly been, recruited to join the armed forces, that this language that Richardson put forth might be commonplace on the battlefield, but it came across as really aggressive to this civilian federal agency filled with employees that are used to not deploying to war, but deploying to hurricanes. Juliet.
All right, Nicole Sganga. Nicole, thank you.